Here we have a 1999 Honda Civic with 158,000 miles on it. One of the alerts that you may get on your instrument panel is a check engine light. As you can see to the left of the speedometer, that yellow check engine light is an alert. Sometimes it's an alarm. Sometimes it's a maintenance reminder. But which one is it? So Mike, when the check engine light shows on our dashboard, it could be any of those three
items. It could be several things. And the check engine light, service engine soon, it's got a picture of a little engine with engine written on it. It's amber in color. When that check engine light comes on, it can be various of things. It can be something as silly as a gas cap that's not sealing correctly. Or it can be something as major as an ignition component that's misfiring, causing a check engine light to come on. It's very similar to when we go into a doctor. I mean, I'll call up a very good friend of mine who's a doctor, and I'll go, Dr. Steve, I've got a sore throat, I need some pills. And he goes, I don't know what's causing your sore throat, Mike. So when people come in with check engine light, I always encourage them, allowing us to do a diagnosis of it. And then when that repair is done, we credit that diagnosis back to you. Because the last thing I want to do is put a part on. It's not going to correct that check engine light. The computers, they're very complicated. If the computer doesn't like information going into it, then that check engine light's going to come on. It's very similar to when I type and I misspell something, I get an underline of a type thing. That's what happens with these cars nowadays.
So we've got machines to test our heart and our lungs and our blood pressure. You have those same tools here for a car?
Absolutely, absolutely. We've got vehicle-specific scanners, as it's called. Basically what they do is it's a computer that talks and shakes hands with the onboard computer of the vehicle. They communicate, they talk back and forth. Our certified ASE technicians decipher that information, advise what needs to be done to get that check engine light out. Now, sometimes we'll take care of a check engine light code or a problem, and then a couple of months later down the road, another code will come on, and the customer will think, oh man, I just had my vehicle in here, it must be the same problem. There are thousands and thousands of diagnostic trouble codes that can cause that check engine light to come on. So if we do a repair on a vehicle and that check engine light comes back on, it's no charge to you. Bring it back, go, hey Mike, I just had this vehicle serviced about 3 months ago, check engine light's on. I'll say, no problem. Daryl, let me bring it around. Let me have one of my guys check that diagnostic code for you, because we record the diagnostic failure. A P0400 is different than a P0135. So this vehicle's got a check engine light on. I've hooked up one of our quick scanners to it. It comes up with a P0135. That's an oxygen sensor heater problem. Now, during our diagnosis, it can be something as a problem with a connection. The heater of that component could be failed. The whole component could be failed. When we do a diagnosis and we find that it's just a bad connection, that's all part of inclusive of our diagnosis. A lot of the times people come in with a check engine light, it's just a bad connection. We clean out some connections and put it all together and everything's great.
So the moral of the story is I see the amber light with the engine, check engine on my dashboard.
You bring it here and we can take care of your problem.